हाय एवरीवन, कैसे आप सब। आई होप यू आर डूइंग वेरी वेल। सबसे पहले एक बिग अपडेट आया है JKSSB सुपरवाइज़र कैंडिडेट्स के लिए। फाइनली JKSSB ने एग्ज़ाम डेट आउट किया है आज, यानी 23 जून में आपका एग्ज़ाम होगा सुपरवाइज़र का। आपको क्या करना है, आपको सिर्फ अपनी प्रिपरेशन पे फोकस करना है। जितना आपने पढ़ा है उसको रिवाइज़ करना है एंड आपको नए नए कॉन्सेप्ट्स भी और पढ़ने हैं। जो जो टॉपिक आपको पेंडिंग है वो उसको आपको क्लियर करना है। डिस्क्रिप्शन में लिंक है, इस लिंक को जाके ज्वाइन कीजिए एंड टेलीग्राम हमारा ज्वाइन कीजिए। इसमें आपको फ्री मटेरियल मिलेगा। एंड विदाउट वेस्टिंग योर टाइम तो स्टार्ट करता हूँ मैं आज का वीडियो। स्टार्ट करते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर फर्स्ट। द मोस्ट हेल्पलेस विक्टिम्स ऑफ अब्यूज आर ऑप्शन ए चिल्ड्रन, बी वुमेन, सी मैन, डी एडल्ट्स। क्वेश्चन बेसिकली इज द मोस्ट हेल्पलेस विक्टिम्स ऑफ अब्यूज। बेसिकली मोस्ट हेल्पलेस विक्टिम्स ऑफ अब्यूज के कौन से वाले ग्रुप आते हैं? क्या ये चिल्ड्रन में आते हैं, क्या ये वुमेन आते हैं, क्या ये मैन आते हैं, क्या ये एडल्ट्स आते हैं? if we go to the right answer of the question, right answer will be option A, that is children. Basically children is a group which is the most helpless victim of abuse. So right answer will be option A, children. Number 2, Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986 is an example of option A, regulative labor legislation, option B, protective labor legislation, option C, social security legislation, option D, welfare legislation. If we talk about the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986, basically it is an example of which legislation it is the example of. So if we go to the right answer of the question, right answer will be option B, that is protective labor legislation. So basically Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986 is an example of, that is protective labor legislation. Option B is the correct option of the question. Question number 3. Now question number 3. Under the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986, a child is one who has not completed his. Is it 18 years under this act? Is it 16 years? Is it 15 years age of a child under this act? Is it 14 years age of a child under this act? If we talk about the question under the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986, basically child is one who has not completed his 14 years of age. That will be considered as a child if the child is below the 14 years. If the child is 15 years above, then it will not be considered a child under this act. So right answer will be option D, that is 14 years. A child is one who has not completed his 14 years under this act. Basically the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986, a child is one who has not completed his 14 years. So option D is the correct option of the question. Question number 4. Which section of the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986 defines the term child? Option is section 1st, option B section 2nd, part 1, option C section 2 and part 2nd, option D section 2 and part 3. If we go to the right answer of the question, which section of the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986 defines the term child? So right answer will be option C, that is section 2 and part 2nd. Basically under this section, the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act defines the term child. So section 2 part 2nd is the correct option of the question. Question number 5. Question number 5. When did the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986 come into force? Option A, 1st April 1986, option B, 1st March 1987, option C, 1st May 1980, option D, 23rd December 1986. If we talk about the question, when did the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986 come into force? What will be the right answer of the question? Basically if we talk about the right answer of the question, right answer will be option D, that is 23rd December 1986. Basically this is a date when was Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act come into force. The actual date of the Child Labor Prohibition Regulation Act is 1986 and it was come into force in 23rd December 1986. So option D is the correct option of the question. Question number 6. Drug abuse denotes option A, frequent use of drug, option B, use of illicit drug, option C, physical dependence on drug, option D, psychological dependence on drug. If we talk about the right answer of the question, drug abuse denotes, what it denotes? Can it denotes frequent use of? Question number 6. Drug abuse denotes option A, frequent use of drug, option B, use of illicit drug, option C, physical dependence on drug, option D, psychological dependence on drug. If we talk about the right answer of the question, drug abuse denotes, what will be the right answer of the question? Can it denotes frequent use of drug? Can it denotes use of illicit drug? Can it denotes physical dependence on drug? Can it denotes psychological dependence on drug? If we talk about the right answer of the question, right answer will be option D, that is psychological dependence on drug. Drug abuse denotes psychological dependence on drug. So option D is the correct option of the question. Question number 7. In which year Convent on Child Rights and Political Rights was adopted? Basically, if we talk about the right answer of the question, these are all options are wrong. Basically, mistake has taken place in typing. So if we talk about the right answer of the question, right answer is 1989. The date was 20 November 1989. Basically, question is, in which year Convention on Child Rights was adopted? This is wrong here. Political rights, it is wrong. Basically, question is, in which year Convention on Child Rights was adopted? So right answer is 20 November 1989. These are all options are incorrect options, but actual answer is this. Question number 8. Number 8. Which is the nodal body for adoption of children in India? Option A, NIPCCD, option B, CSBB, option C, CARA, option D, NCPCR. If we talk about the right answer of the question, which is the nodal body for adoption of children in India? You give me right answer of the question in comment section. This is homework for you. What is the name, or which is the nodal body for adoption of children in India? What will be right answer of the question? So you give me right answer of the question in comment section. Question number 9. In which year the government of India exceeded the rights of a child adopted by the General Assembly? Option A, 11th December 1992, option B, 10th December 1991, option C, 11th December 1990, option D, none of the above. If we talk about the right answer of the question, right answer, basically, in which year the government of India exceeded the rights of child adopted by General Assembly. So if we go to the right answer of the question, right answer will be option E, that is 11th December 1992. In this date, government of India exceeded the rights of child which was adopted by General Assembly. Question number 10. Mandatory reporting of child abuse is option A, moral, B, legal, C, ethical, D, children's service. If we talk about the right answer of the question, mandatory reporting of a child abuse is, right answer of the question is option B, that is legal. So mandatory reporting of a child abuse is legal in India. So thanks for all.